In addition to the reading, the writing, and the arithmetic, one of the most important skills your child needs to succeed in the classroom would be their social skills. 9 News parenting expert Dr. Sheryl Ziegler is here this morning to talk more about these social skills that your kids need in the classroom. We're going to start with elementary school. And what are those, if they don't have them yet, what are the skills they at least need to be developing at this point at that level?
Yeah, with elementary school, they're going to come in and they need to do things like learn how to take turns, learn how to follow direction, learn how to continue to share. And so it would be normal if you have especially the early elementary school kids that when one of those things don't happen, they cry. They've got to build up frustration tolerance. And so this is a really important time because it sets the foundation for how are they going to treat classmates and what are they going to do when they don't like a rule, and what if they're hungry now, but snack time isn't for 40 minutes.
Patience.
What are they going to do? Yes, lots of patience, lots of delayed gratification as well. Even raising your hand to go to the bathroom. Like, you can't just get up and go most of the time. You have to at least ask and get a pass. So these are really important skills. And I know parents are worried sometimes about, are they reading? And do they know their math? However, these are the skills that they really also bring forward through all of the school years and, of course, as we know, into the workforce.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And you start in elementary school where you do the crying, you have little patience,
Yeah.
but then you go up to 5th grade and then you go to middle school in 6th, 7th, and 8th. How does that relate from elementary to middle school?
Yes, the transition to middle school is a really big one, and it's a different developmental stage. So in middle school, what you start doing is really having a lot of independence, a lot more autonomy, and even though friendship stuff starts in the elementary school years, it gets a lot more complicated. You've got kids going through puberty. You've got, oh, I like you, I don't like you. And so all of a sudden, that independence, autonomy, less parents around, parents are sometimes not even welcome in the middle schools. They've got to start advocating for themselves. And so that is a very big shift.
My experience with my 2 kids was drama was at its worst in middle school.
Yes.
And probably because they're just new to it, right? By the time they get to high school, maybe they're used to it. Let's talk about high school kids. What are the social skills, if you will, that high schoolers should have by this point?
In high school, it's really hugely about self-advocacy. So you have to know what you want and you have to articulate it, and it's pretty much all on them. It also requires a lot of executive functioning skills. So organization, being on top of things, being on top of deadlines, and managing a lot of responsibilities. So now in high school, you might work, you might do an activity or sport after school, plus go to school, and maybe probably helping out more around the house, having greater responsibility, and driving. So all of a sudden, you take all the skills we just said, they all apply, frustration tolerance, patience, all the things. And now you've got a lot more of a busier schedule, busier life, and you're figuring out your identity. Right? So that's the social skill is like, I'm trying to figure out who I am, and then I'm trying to find other people who fit that for me while we're all figuring it out. So in all of these years, while we're so worried about the academics of what they're learning, really they're learning their emotional intelligence. That EQ part is just as important, if not more important, according to a lot of research.
When you get into a workplace, sure.
It does. You have to know how to teamwork, and that's a big high school thing as well, is how do I work with partners that I don't know? Maybe I don't get to pick. We're just put together, and I've got to figure it out. That's great life skills.
Dr. Ziegler, I think we have a couple more seconds. My producers are going to wrap me up here in just a couple of seconds. But what can parents do at home to help with these skills?
So they can really understand the stage of where their kid is at and reinforce that. So don't focus so much on, did you do this and did you do your homework, but also say, did you make someone laugh today? Were you kind today? Did you get frustrated today? How did you handle that? Lots of curiosity, lots of open-ended questions about their character development as well.
I noticed not the entire time we did this interview did we ever refer to these as soft skills, because sometimes people call them soft skills, but you don't like that term.
I do not like that term. There's nothing soft about it, right?
They're important.
It's really, really important. As important as all the other pieces is what we really know.
Well, thank you for coming in this morning, Dr. Ziegler. Great stuff from you.